Oh, this is the whole thing.
Yeah.
The What You Gonna Wanna Do podcast is brought to you by me. All too often, my first thoughts upon waking are of Harambe. And while I'm not technically licensed to practice law in the state of Ohio, I know in my heart, if I was, I could have made Harambe's dreams come true. You see, I believe the great ape's only wish was to have custody of that little boy. And that is why I'm hanging my shingles out. Shingles out?
Yeah.
Is that a thing people say?
Yeah.
In this century? I'm hanging my shingles out as Caleb Clark, guerrilla attorney. I have no doubt whatsoever that I could have won the custody battle for Harambe. It's clear to anyone, if you just look at the evidence, that gorilla was taking better care of that little boy. Oh no, this is a hot take. In his life's final moments than his biological parents. You know these people are real. These are real people. His real parents, you see, carelessly allowed him to climb into an enclosure with what was thought to be a fiercest animal. Ferocious. Could be both things. Harambe was anything but ferocious. Nay, he was loving and fatherly. He grabbed his hand. But I digress. Just consider this. If I could theoretically get custody for a gorilla, imagine what I could do with your legal woes. I won't only fight for gorillas, but people as well. I will even cover your horse divorce, but mostly gorilla stuff. Thank you. I am Caleb Clark, gorilla attorney.
Welcome to Expedition Bible.
Saw that coming. And not that particular one, but I knew
with the Marty Stauffer of Christianity. Welcome to the What You Gonna Wanna Do podcast. I am Kevin.
Scott Weaver.
Caleb.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy.
Happy.
Do you have anything to get off your chest this week like you did last week?
I never know what I'm going to get off my chest.
Well, I thought, it's not the topic, but I thought we could start off by mentioning, of course, we record these ahead of time. And
they're live.
They know.
Coming to you live.
Just this, a couple days ago, Pete Rose passed away.
Yeah.
Who is, a big part of our childhood, growing up, during the 70s,
Your
80s.
childhood.
Our childhood.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Obviously. I grew up, a fan of the Big Red Machine, and Pete was...
He was awesome.
Big part of that. Always an inspiration. Privileged to be able to see him play. I remember going to a game where they were giving away jerseys, and me and my brother are like, that was one of the ones we wanted, Pete Rose. We get there, and we got Tom Seaver.
Oh.
I mean, another Hall of Famer.
Tom Seaver's.
Tom Seaver's great. But, you're a kid, you don't want the pitcher.
Yeah.
The pitchers every 4 days, 5 days, whatever. You wanted, one of the stars. You wanted Rose, Bench, one of those guys. So, but yeah, it's, sad thing for us, growing up, and when you get older and some of your childhood heroes pass away. It's hard to take.
So. Well, remember, I don't, how many years ago, because you always say, well, it's only a couple. That was 15 years ago, Scott.
Yeah.
But a few years ago when we went to the Reds opening day, it may have been when we went to the Hall of Fame they had.
Yeah.
And they had the wall of all of his.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's a really cool thing
awesome.
to see. My brother and I were fortunate to go to, was the very last event they had at Old Riverfront Stadium. They were calling it Synergy Field by then.
Synergy, yeah.
But they had not celebrity. They had like an all-star softball game, and
That's
we
cool.
went to that. You know, Pete was playing with all of the Big Red Machine guys. They were all there. I think Cesar Geronimo wasn't able to play. He was having some health problems. But, you know, they were going with 10 players like they do on a softball team. So they had, I think, Eric Davis and Paul O'Neill were, you know, in the outfield.
In the outfield.
And then, you know, all the rest of them were Big Red Machine guys. And they were playing against a group of all-stars from that era. You know,
really?
70s, 80s. And so, you know, they were all there. Dave Parker was there. Of course, he played for the Reds for a while.
He did play for the Reds, yeah.
Scott was a big Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah.
And Parker belongs in the Hall of Fame, too. You know, but he was there.
Yeah.
I remember my brother and I were wanting to they had guys, you know, giving autographs. They were like at the ticket booths.
Really?
You would walk up and get their autograph.
Oh.
Well, you weren't going to get Pete's. You know, that line was way, you know, ridiculous. And there were a few other Reds guys there, but he's like, you know, look at the list of these guys that are signed, because they would do it like at different times. And so the guys that were signing them right then, he's like, which one of these guys do you think is going to be in the Hall of Fame? And it's like, it was Gary Carter. And he was always a big Gary Carter fan.
That's
so
right, yeah.
we went and got
Gary
Carter's autograph. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but that was a good time. Yeah. You know, really cool. But we thought we would, you know, want to mention that a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, since he just passed. Our topic for today is getting in trouble at school. And,
Interesting.
I mean, the irony there is that none of us were bad. You know, if anyone...
Not in the popular sense.
Right. If anyone's watching this that we went to school with and they hear the topic, they're going to think, those guys didn't get... Maybe this guy, you know.
He could have been... Yeah, I think you were
He
a
probably
little
had
edgier.
he probably had more of a bad boy reputation than we did.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty edgy. Everybody was like, "Oh, they don't start trouble with him."
But I think, you know, if anyone
With my leather jackets and my grease back hair.
if anyone knows us and they see the topic, they're going to think, yeah, it's ridiculous because none of us were troublemakers. But it's still, you know, I think that's what makes it more humorous anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the, you know, the times that you do get in trouble. I don't think I got in trouble, but in kindergarten class, there was, you know, kids were talking and a kid said a curse word. I don't know. I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it was something, you know, horribly bad, but, you know, growing up, a little Pentecostal kid that I was like, you can't say that. You'll go to hell. All the kids were like, oh, you said hell. It was like what I said was like way worse than whatever the kid said. And they're like, oh, I'm telling. And so, you know, I'm scared to death I'm going to get in trouble. And, you know, but in my mind, I wasn't saying anything bad. And I grew up hearing that.
Growing up,
you know, I just thought it was, you know, pretty humorous.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like to you're going to hell.
Yes. There's no question about
Just
it.
what another young
And he reacted
kid
like you told him
wants
to
to
go
hear.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'm sending you there, buddy.
What did he just say?
That was their reaction. They were like shocked. Like, you can't say that, man.
You can't say
Calm down. Calm down, Kevin. Get it together. You can't just be letting words like that fly.
And this was kindergarten.
Yeah,
So,
that kills
you know,
me. It was kindergarten. And he just goes up and says, no.
I definitely wasn't getting in trouble in kindergarten.
Oh.
I wasn't telling little kids to go to...
To go there?
For the record, I didn't tell the kid to go to hell. I just said that he would go to hell.
Oh, he...
For
Oh,
saying.
okay. You would. Okay.
It's a little tough to tell. This feels like a little bit of... Like you're just trying to put a spin on it. So did you get in trouble with the teacher?
I don't think they told her.
Okay.
But, you know, well, Mrs. Fan Cuff.
Fan Cuff?
What a beautiful name.
Yeah.
And that was she was Mrs. Fancuff. She got stuck with that name.
It trippeth off the tongue.
I mean,
Fan Cuff.
since this was like over what, 50 years ago now. I'm not 100% sure it was Miss or Mrs.
Oh.
But yeah.
Tough either way.
It was a rough. I mean, because of course
I have to
you
agree
know,
with it.
yeah.
It's tough.
you hear that name and you automatically think handcuff. you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So she wasn't in the room. at
Van
that point.
cuff.
Fan with an F.
Fan cuff.
Like fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure where that derives from. But yeah, it was. You know,
That's funny.
interesting name.
Not even in grade 1 yet.
Not even grade 1.
Yeah.
Kindergarten, just going half a day in the mornings.
Not even barely real school.
I'm not a morning person, so maybe if it was afternoon, I might have let it slide.
If it was later, maybe.
But in the morning, I gotta condemn the kid to hell.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
So you're thinking afternoon. You might have been the one dropping the ball.
Who knows
a little bit.
Who knows what's coming out of my mouth?
You get some graham crackers and a chocolate milk in you. Things get a little weird.
That's right. You start throwing things around.
Yeah. You have a nap. You don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows what you're saying?
It could be scary. Yeah.
Get a little recess in.
Yeah, a little recess, maybe a nap, get up cranky,
Yeah.
throw a few F-bombs around.
Didn't.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to name shapes that day. That's not what you were into.
That's right.
That's right.
I want to play with the Play-Doh.
Yeah, kindergarten's tough, you know?
It's tough.
One minute you're eating graham crackers, the next minute they're trying to get you to name all the colors. And you're like, listen, I don't think I know all the colors. There's a lot out there.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah. You're putting a lot of pressure on me right now.
Which box of crayons are you?
Yeah,
busting
which
out
one are you?
here?
This is the big one? I
Yeah.
have no idea.
It's just the 8 colors. I might have a chance, but getting out the 64 box, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. If you say primary colors, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
Primary
what is primary?
to who?
To who?
I think all colors are created equal.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
That is hilarious.
So did you get in trouble in grade school at all?
You get in trouble in kindergarten, Scott?
I don't think
Can
I
you top?
remember.
Do you have
Because you were in
preschool?
delinquent.
Can you top it? Can you go preschool?
No, I can't speak for that. I wouldn't remember, but
But he didn't even really get in trouble in kindergarten.
that's true.
No, I was
You
on.
were the one
I was
getting
on the.
you were trying to get somebody else.
Were you on the
I
cusp,
was on the cusp of getting in trouble.
of getting in trouble?
You were a narc.
If they had told on me, I wasn't the narc. I was the one being narked on. I wasn't telling.
But I thought you
The
said they
teacher?
didn't tell the teacher.
They didn't. But they threatened to.
a lot of
That's
holes
all
in
I'm
this
saying.
Threatened. There's a lot of holes.
I was on the verge of getting in trouble.
the verge.
That's all I'm saying.
Get in trouble, yeah.
All right, Scott, do you have any on the verge of getting in trouble stories?
Yeah,
This just took a turn.
but I'm up a few years, not...
Oh, okay. You weren't a delinquent in kindergarten?
No. I mean, I didn't think I was. Now, what other kids thought of me, I don't know, but I mean,
Were you damning kids to hell?
no, not that.
Huh, that's good.
Not near that.
Well, that's safe.
That's good to know.
I don't know if I could say that
Yeah.
even.
Well, a lot of
mean,
kids
the
think he
word.
shouldn't have.
Oh,
People think it should.
A lot of kids told him that
the vast
wasn't okay.
majority of the class.
They were
Majority of the class.
If you had taken a poll, it would have been no. He should not have said that.
Clearly, you were the only Pentecostal kid there.
That was the only one.
Like, this is just how we talk. We just say, you quit that or you're going to go to hell. That's just the way we
Yeah,
talk.
that's normal.
This is like a turn. Like, it's just a common. It's not even. It's just a phrase.
It's just a phrase. It came out just natural,
Yeah.
as you would say
Yeah,
anything.
quit your acting up.
Exactly.
Are you trying to go to hell?
Quit your acting.
It's just something mom would say over breakfast.
Just normal banner amongst.
Hey, that's
you know.
enough of that. Unless you want to go to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to spill ketchup.
You get the look.
You didn't make your bed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, what are you trying to go to hell? That's what she would say.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
No.
No. You know who doesn't brush their teeth? People who go to hell.
Well, yeah. The worst. I'm trying to remember now, so I may get some of this not quite right.
That makes it better, though.
Yeah, I mean, no one's here to fact check you.
Fourth, ABC's not here. No.
Turns out that we fact checked you, and that's none of this is real. You didn't even go to school in 4th grade.
This is real.
Scott was homeschooled in 4th grade. We're gonna blow this whole thing.
Right. Yeah, I think it was was it 5th grade that 4th or 5th?
When did he show up?
6th grade.
6th. See, I'm already off to the wrong.
Could be 5th. When
I
for
came
this
in
story.
Oh, for this story, yeah.
It was at Reed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
6th
so
grade.
6th grade.
6th grade, and I think
At
it was
least.
at least.
Could have been 7th or 8th.
At the earliest.
Was this your first day of school?
No.
Okay.
Second.
It's the second day of school.
He said the F-bomb. Some kid told him he was going to go to hell.
Yeah, that's when I first met my good friend Kevin.
He learned to me about hell that day.
Yes. I had no idea where I might be going, but I did know then I wouldn't be going to the other place.
He just saw this kid out in front of the school with a sign that said, "The end is nigh."
It's sandwich board on.
Yeah. It said, "Step over here if you don't want to go to hell."
Naturally being curious.
Yeah. You walked over to him and he read you the entire book of Revelations.
As you do.
Those were halcyon days.
Scott's like, I could be friends with this guy. I can see
We're going to get along well.
I see a good budding friendship.
Yeah, man, I dig this guy.
Yeah.
Anybody can be that honest to where I'm at spiritually now.
Yeah.
He's got it.
I just like somebody who's not open in the 6th grade.
Yes.
He's got the roots down.
Yeah.
You know?
He's got his finger on the pulse.
This guy's well grounded. Yeah. Just.
Well grounded.
And he just has a real way with people.
And all I wanted to do was play a little Foursquare.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you know where there's plenty of Foursquare playing. He said, oh, that's the devil's game.
That's the devil's game.
I don't know. I mean, don't they talk about the New Jerusalem city built Foursquare? That'd be heaven.
This is... Oh, okay. Foursquare is heaven?
I think so.
This sounds
But
like
if
some
you're
weird doctrine
lost
you're
in
getting.
Foursquare,
Yeah.
then you're...
Oh, okay. But I'm sure you had a real story that was...
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was 6th. I think it was 6th. Could have been 7th, but 8th. But I'm going to go with 6th. There was some art project that Miss Thomas wanted us to do, and she something about I didn't get it in, okay?
Yeah.
Or whatever. So she...
Art takes a while.
Yeah. You wait for the inspiration.
A true artist, Scott, is never truly done with their work.
That's very true.
An amazing artist.
Yeah.
So I drew, I did okay for that age.
Yeah.
So whatever it was, I don't know what it was making, who knows, Thanksgiving turkeys out of your handprint. I don't know what weak stuff she
You're
was
probably a little bit past that in 6th grade. Just a skosh.
But she didn't, whatever, I think I didn't get it in, okay? So I think it was discussed that I could do extra credit and bring something in for it. And then, and so she told me to be there at a certain point and bring it in, because I think it was it wasn't after class, it was later in the day. And I had this, I don't know, it looked like a mural kind of thing, I thought I remember, of something. It looked all right, for what it was. And I went to, it was like an Indian, okay, it was like Blue Jacket or Tecumseh, one of them. And I knocked on the door, and she was in the room, but she would not let me come in the room. And I said, well, I have this extra credit. And she goes, well, I think she said something, well, you should have turned that in earlier or whatever. And I was kind of getting upset about that. So I started to hit the door saying, hey, you got to let me in. I've got extra credit here. And she's like, something, no, I told you, and I'm hitting the door harder. And I guess she complained that I was, threatening her in some fashion. So I had to go in and talk my mom and dad with Thomas and straighten this out. I didn't other than the banging on the wall, that's kind of threatening in a way, but I'm just a young...
Aggressive,
yeah.
For sure.
I was passionate about what I'm doing.
You're made who's passionate about
art.
Yeah. I like art. I wanted, I've done the work here. Yeah. Lady opened the door, but she refused.
Yeah.
And I was upset, so I kind of walked the line there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who should be the gatekeeper of art?
Yeah. Well, you had run-ins with her. You
I
said
did.
in your era.
Yeah. She still wasn't happy then.
She
I
still
think
wasn't.
her passion in life was
No.
teaching.
Don't. What are you gonna say?
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Was taking the joy that children have in
art.
art.
I was worried about you. This is what I
Ripping
was
it away.
Ripping it
Oh
away.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I kind of felt that. I felt that way then.
We've already said her name.
But you would do these. Sean even was talking about her. There would be these stupid things you would have to do. Whatever. Like I said, doing your handprint, and then there's a turkey, and it's like I don't understand.
You guys were
This
doing
is
a lot.
all there is here.
We didn't.
Just did turkeys all
Yeah, we did a lot less turkey hand
Christmas,
tracing.
Thanksgiving.
I'm expecting like Jackson Pollock. You throw stuff at the canvas and you get all crazy. And you go, look what I've done, and then she does. Yeah, it's
Where's the
wonderful.
turkey?
At the beginning of every art class that you were in, she was like, "All right, everybody, what hand do you write with? I want you to raise that hand." Okay, now put your other hand on the paper. I want you to go ahead and go around that real quick. All right, great. Now what you have there is a good outline for a turkey. I want you to get after you have till the end of class. And you're like, Mrs. Thomas, it's December. I know you eat turkeys at Christmas.
You eat turkeys then too.
Put them in a Santa hat.
But Valentine's Day
I'm in a
is
Santa hat. So that's
It's almost summer break, Mrs. Thomas. Yeah, okay, so fireworks or something.
yeah. Fireworks or something.
I don't recall doing so much turkey stuff.
We did,
But
I'm probably just stuff like
yeah.
just
I get it.
you cut out what was it, cardboard paper,
You just did a lot.
Construction paper.
construction, not cardboard paper.
You had me intrigued.
Construction
What's
paper
cardboard?
doing stuff or
Now, this episode is going to upset my mom because she really liked Mrs. Thomas.
Oh,
And I'll tell you
okay.
this. In 8th grade, I worked like during study hall. I'd go down. Me and a couple other guys would go clean up the art room, and she was super nice to us then. Just in class, she was. I don't know what it was. I think it's because she was such a short woman.
Yeah.
And by the time you're
So was
in,
her fuse.
by the time you're in like 5th grade, you're towering over her.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I think that was intimidating, and so she had to be mean.
I also couldn't imagine trying to corral a group of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say, I don't know about your guys' classroom, but it was probably close to 30 kids, if not more.
Yeah, you're right.
And trying to wrangle all of them, and you're just trying to get them to do literally one of the more fun classes. And
Yeah,
trying to
that's
get them to
true.
pay attention. She's like, just put the little dots on the paper, guys. Get it together.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a lot of pointillism.
Yeah.
Pointillism.
We did that too.
There's a lot of pointillism.
I feel like she was trying to teach us some higher art stuff, and I was like, "Listen, lady, I can draw, but I'm not trying to get I'm not doing this for life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a starving artist. That's just not. I'm just gonna be a starving government worker."
Starving government worker. I think I heard under her breath something about this hot shot from Columbus thinks he can come in and tell me what art's about. Something like that. Vague.
Just think you're
something.
I think you're from
Sounds
the
about
capital.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy from Westerville.
Yeah. He thinks
No.
he's it.
Comes in.
Too big for his britches.
Can't bring it. Think he's a big fish, huh? Thinks he's a big fish in a small pond.
That's right.
Well, we got some artists around here, buddy, and you're not one of them.
You're not one of them. You're not welcome here. Go home.
This Weaver kid doesn't even know how to put the dots on the paper. That's what she said.
The dots on this Weaver kid. And so I lit my paper on fire in front of it and washed my hands of it and left.
She's looking at it. She's like, "This isn't pointillism at all. You drew lines like an idiot."
Yeah.
What is this? Lines?
This looks like some kind of Indian. It really looks like something.
Yeah.
What are you, crazy?
I don't even see dots on this. You drew lines like a crazy person? What kind of boring art are you into?
This looks like some sort of order of shape and object. You're primordial, dude.
Yeah. Have you tried just doing this a bunch?
Yeah, just do this a bunch.
do this a
All
bunch.
you had to do was do that. I gave you A+.
Yeah. But you drew lines like some sort of
You come.
Neanderthal.
That's what I.
What is this, a cave painting? Get out of here, Weaver.
Go to Columbus where they want you. We don't want you here.
Yeah, we don't want any of your line drawings around here. Put some dots on this paper and then tell me you turned in some extra credit. Don't be turning in this line drawing.
F+.
What do you shade? You shaded it? Oh boy. I don't even see a turkey on there.
I don't even see a turkey.
If you would have, I'm telling you what, if you would have brought me a hand turkey that you didn't pointillism, then you would have got the extra credit. That's what she was. Miss Thomas, I feel like I'm going to stab my fingers. Hey, pointillism is art.
So I got this strange tattoo on the back of my hand.
I kept missing during pointillism turkeys.
Pointillism turkeys.
I did have my fair share of run-ins with Miss Thomas. I would like Dad said, I wasn't a bad kid, but I was always trying to get a laugh.
Were you restless?
I was yeah
Maybe a little.
just trying to get a good giggle.
Yeah,
you know?
good. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So bring some levity.
Yeah, I got in trouble one time because we were doing some. I want to say this is paper mache, maybe, because we had some stuff we.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lot of.
And I'll tell you what, paper mache is a good time. She wasn't even mad until I'll get to that. One. She did get mad, but no, yeah. Well, so there was a kid sitting behind me, and he kind of had he had really big curly hair, just a lot of hair, and he was kind of a goofball, a little bit of a goober.
Okay.
Well, in our paper mache stuff that we had we can glue to our paper mache things was a feather. Well, I took the opportunity of just placing
As you would.
placing one feather because
It's
you know,
great.
I was looking forward because we were the shiny Braves, and we were going to be shiny Braves. We were just Reed Bulldogs at this time, but I was paying tribute to our our native tradition that's really big, and you want to pass it along. So I thought, they wore a lot of headdresses. What if he just does the one feather look?
Okay, yeah.
I thought maybe he'd be into it. I was just doing it for him, so he could be part of it.
So I see.
Yeah, it wasn't so he looked like a goober.
You're like a cultural attaché to this fellow. I'm trying to bring you in,
right
to our region.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll be big.
It was celebratory, really.
Yeah.
And I think maybe she took it the wrong way. I think she might have thought that I was just trying to make him look like a goober. So, and I could see how she got there. She clearly she could not see my train of thought of being, Native American heritage. I'm trying to, to build this kid up was what I was. So So she did not enjoy that, and I got a little chastisement for that.
Not that he had a good portion of goofiness anyway.
Yeah, well, he had.
Yeah.
I mean, did he have more goofiness than everybody?
He was halfway there already.
Yeah, he was already working with more goofiness. Did the feather maybe draw more attention? It could have drawn more. I could see where it did.
I could see.
So it was just, it was
the line.
Yeah.
It was just ill-timed on my part. Maybe maybe it wasn't the right way to handle it. And another time, we were getting ready to leave class. The bell was ringing, and we were supposed to put our supplies away before. And I was almost all the way to the door, and she's like, "Make sure you put everything away." And I was like, "Lady, I'm not coming back there." I knew I had a box of art stuff on my desk, but I'm like, I got to get to a real class.
Real class.
This is what she did. I loved art, but she did make me frustrated in that class that I was like,
Yeah.
And I want to say this had to have been 7th or 8th grade because
Okay.
you have a little bit of that. You're not telling me what to do.
Yeah, you get a little, yeah.
You get a little bit of that going on, and I had my fair share. I had my fair share, and maybe like a couple portions of some other kids' shares too. But I was like, I'm not. You can't just tell me to pick up stuff. You know, who do you think you are? So I just left the class. Well, I ended up with a lunch detention,
Oh, really?
and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to the end of the year, and it had to have been middle school because we were getting like middle school awards, like a perfect attendance, stuff like that. And I got the award for no detention.
Really?
I told my teacher, I said, hey, I definitely got a detention. I was like 100% got a detention. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, Mrs. Thomas gave me a detention. She's like, oh, it's fine. So
That doesn't even count.
and this was one of my favorite teachers, so it was even funnier. But
That's awesome.
She's
That
like,
is
oh.
awesome.
And it tells
They knew.
but it tells you how much your special classes really talk to your actual teacher.
Yeah.
So she was like, "You had a detention?" Like, yeah, Mrs. Thomas. She's like, "It's fine." I was like, "I had one detention from Mrs. Thomas." She's like, "No, you are okay." But that was my.
I remember
That's hilarious.
whatever grade we had it at the end of the day. You had to put your chairs up on top of the
that's
table.
right.
Yeah,
And
so they could sweep.
well, we would always see, you try to get to the front of the line, and then we would like bang into the tables as we're leaving, try to see how many chairs we can knock off the table, and then run down the hall.
Remember earlier when you said we weren't really troublemakers?
Yeah.
This sounds like the kids who like stabbed cats and stuff.
No, we didn't do that.
This reminds me of the kids I went to school with who wore wrestling T-shirts when we were too old to be wearing them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We weren't that bad.
Big pants with chains, those type of kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
That's
we
what
would
that
do.
sounds like.
We would do little mean things, but nothing too
You
bad.
tried to knock over chairs and you slammed in the desk.
Yeah, that's
That's
a little
borderline.
hooliganism.
Yeah.
I remember one day I had this big paper ball that I had made. You remember those jackets that would zip all the way up and have like the fur line around them?
Yeah.
There was a kid walking down the hall, all these books, and I just took this paper and jammed it in the...
He was saying earlier that I might have been the one that was out of the three of us that was the worst one. But do you hear the behavior of this man? He's like, we used to do silly stuff like I'd stab a kid in the hallway,
I'd stab him.
Nothing that bad.
Give him a shiv in the gut.
I clotheslined a kindergartner.
Nothing that
Just
bad.
fun stuff.
He was fun stuff.
Just cute stuff like we sprinkled rat poison in the lunchroom.
Well,
Just fun for fun.
that leads me to one of the other things I got in trouble for.
The
It wasn't
rat
poisoning, no.
That
But it
leads
was
me to this.
teasing. It was teasing somebody.
Okay.
We had a
Jesus.
kid.
With a rat?
No, but we had this kid. He rode our bus, and poor kid looked like Spock from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And so, he would get on the bus, and we would start chanting, Spock, Spock, Spock. One day he got on, and one of our buddies had recorded the opening theme to Star Trek, and so he gets on the bus, and no one's saying a word, and he presses play on the tape and starts playing.
Space.
So, one day, my brother had a baseball. We're on our way home. One of our buddies throws the baseball at the kid's house.
Oh.
So
One of your buddies.
it wasn't me.
This is start.
But one of the buddies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. You didn't ride my bus.
Yeah.
Track record says maybe it was one
It
of the
was.
guys. That
It was not me,
okay.
and it was not my brother,
Okay.
and it wasn't the friend who played the tape, but it was someone else. Anyway, we end up getting called into the office
Oh,
because of this.
really?
And
And our
throw things at people's houses.
Well, I mean, no. But
Why are you shrugging?
I mean, no, you shouldn't.
You shrugged like you. No, you know, you throw. Sometimes you throw things at people's
I don't
houses.
think it did.
Sometimes you.
I don't even think
know,
it hit the house. I don't think.
Sometimes you set a house on fire. These are all things we do as kids.
I mean, was it nice? No.
Sometimes you're out.
Was it nice?
It was not nice.
Was it nice?
I mean, you feel bad about this.
Every once in a while, you shoot up a convenience store.
We get called into the principal's office. Our principal was very intimidating.
Yeah.
He was a big,
How old were you?
big guy. This was 8th grade.
Yeah, so
You guys are trouble.
Oh,
Trouble to use.
well, I wasn't.
No, not you, Scott.
He wasn't even on the bus.
Yeah, Scott was just trying to fight an art
Scott's
teacher.
like, I'm
Like a
innocent.
normal kid.
I was just like a normal guy.
Just a normal kid saying, hey, I'm going to
threatening art teachers and stuff.
You say you better open this door, I'm going to come down in there and shove this art project down your throat. And my dad's like, we just throw Molotov cocktails sometimes.
Hey, it was the 80s. You could do things like that.
Exactly.
We were just preparing for Red Dawn.
If she didn't lock me out, it would have been no problem.
No problem. But we get called in the principal's office, and he's a big guy. You know, very intimidating.
Was that
very
Haskett?
Yeah, very authoritative. You know,
Yeah, he's a
authoritarian.
Okay.
You know,
he was a tall fella.
yeah.
I was just interested in you finishing that sentence. Or the word.
He was a fair and decent man. He was actually
Yeah.
our neighbor.
Yeah.
We used to play ball in his yard all the time because he had a great big yard.
So he knew it was you.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
It 100% was not me.
All right.
It was not my brother.
But he pulled you and others in.
Yeah, me.
Did you do it individually or all in a group?
Well, me and the friend that played the tape.
Okay.
I won't mention his name. He didn't fill it either.
Okay.
We get called into his office together, and he's trying to get to the bottom of this. You know, who threw the baseball? And we're sitting there. You know,
I had to be a second thrower.
On the grassy
grassy
knoll.
You start feeding him some conspiracy theory crap?
No, it's like
I don't even think it was.
I don't know.
See, when we were parked there, another bus came by. And I think if you check the tape from our angle, couldn't have been us.
I mean,
But no.
might have been able to pull this off if it wasn't a one-way or a dead-end road that you had to turn around on. So there
Buses
wasn't.
can turn around.
I know, but you wouldn't have two
Wouldn't
buses
have
on a
two,
dead-end
yeah.
road.
You never know.
Well, we never saw one.
In a school district. You should have thought this through.
Yeah.
You guys could have gotten off
So
scot-free.
close to the school, it wasn't another
So
school district.
close to the school.
You could have pulled it off. How would he? I mean,
But
it's not. Where's your
anyway,
creative thinking.
he's like, you know, I feel sorry for the kid, you know, because we're, you know, everyone
Yeah.
calling him Spock and stuff.
Yeah.
He said, as a matter of fact, there's a name the kids call me. And he looks at me, he's like, you know it, Kevin.
Oh.
Go and say it. So I'm sitting there.
Go ahead.
You're
and say
scared to death of this man.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Earl the squirrel. My voice was cracking. Earl the squirrel. Earl Heskett. And
Earl.
they
Yeah.
call him
Earl the squirrel. You know it, Kev.
Yeah.
Why don't
Yeah.
you go ahead and
Just-
I
say it?
was so
They
scared.
called a giant man Earl the Squirrel.
Earl the squirrel,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know why.
Just
Because it
rhyme.
rhymed. Yeah.
Wow, that's
the
a
only
sign of the
reason.
times.
Yeah, that's all we
Yeah.
had.
Not
That's
very
all,
creative.
That's all you could do.
You could only rhyme. That's all you could ever do.
That's all we had.
If your name didn't rhyme with anything, you were fine.
Yeah. I think you were getting by. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it did,
Oh.
Lord help you.
Yeah, Katie
Yeah.
bar the door.
Of
It's a common phrase the kids are using.
Of
all the
course.
kids are using these days.
Did you have any like middle school stuff that you got in trouble for, or
Well,
high school?
The middle school is what I just said. I also got in
Yeah.
trouble one time because I would say probably it would have been maybe middle school. We got to where our bells were like digital over the loudspeaker and not like actual bells. But I could perfectly imitate the pitch of it. And so one day at the end of class, like at the end of the day, we're all lined up at the door waiting for the bell, and I let it rip, and everybody goes busting out of the classroom. and
Everybody just...
and then I would say probably, if not a full minute, like 30 seconds later, the bell goes off, and my teacher's like, well, I go out to the drinking fountain, and that was right around the corner from our classroom, and I go up to a buddy, and I was like, hey, that was me. And the teacher heard me, and she's like, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again.
Classic. That's
But
awesome.
I was so proud of myself.
That is
I'm
awesome.
Like, I fooled. Look at all these idiots.
It's in knowing you did it. You watch all these guys go out, try to get through the door. You know how kids are when the period's over.
Yeah, they were busting through. I was like, I nailed that impression.
That's awesome.
Can you do it for us now?
I couldn't. Well, no, because I haven't heard it in
You haven't heard
a long time. Because that was, years ago.
I get it. That's good though.
Yeah,
That's awesome. You see all these kids
they were there.
class.
Yeah, I just wish I got so. It was Icarus flying too close to the sun because I just had to tell somebody that I did it.
There's sometimes you just.
I was so proud though.
It's
That's
just
awesome.
the fact that you know you did it
Yeah.
and got away with it. You just gotta let it go.
Well, and somebody needed to know.
Yeah. Somebody needed
Like there was part of me that was like, if they didn't think it was a malfunction, I was worried someone else was going to take credit for it, and I could not.
I got.
Like, listen,
Can't have that.
I have worked on this hard.
I have trained. I'm not gonna.
I'm up nights doing this. You know, in the bathroom. Did I get it? We're getting there. Me.
Tuning fork.
We're getting there.
So
Well, speaking of getting away with it, because I think that's a good segue. If Kevin can talk about, or I don't know if we should, hushed and reverent tones.
Is this more
the day that
delinquency?
we, our senior year that we thought,
I was going to bring that up.
Great.
Yep. So senior year, there's always the senior skip day,
yeah,
and we decided to get a little greedy. Senior skip day was going to be on a Monday. Friday is whatever they like field day. I don't know what they called it. Fun day or something like that.
Yeah,
We called it senior day when
You'd
we were
have
there.
some classes in the
okay.
morning, and then they had like
some kind of.
almost like a little carnival-like thing.
Yeah.
I think they had a band come in and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much did the same thing.
Stuff
They
like
called
that.
it- It's called it
Same
senior
thing.
day.
Yeah.
Senior day.
Well, we decide.
And it was fun.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a good time.
I mean, yeah, but we decide. Let's make it a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
We'll skip Friday.
But for the record, it was essentially like a 4-day weekend anyways.
Right.
Well, we still had classes in the morning.
But not really. Not real true classes. At
Yeah.
that time of year,
But yeah,
on the
we'll
day
see.
of an outside event.
But we're thinking. I mean,
You weren't thinking. I think
Well,
the
no,
story's going to prove
because-
that.
We were.
we're gonna go on Friday. We're gonna go over to Columbus, Ohio State campus.
Yeah.
Meet some college women. Hit the record stores.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that part go?
Well,
We shirked. We didn't want any of that. You only had a little bit of classes. We didn't even want that.
no,
You didn't even want the
No field.
like
no.
the 3 classes.
We were
you
ready
had.
to break this off
that's
Yeah.
right.
on Friday.
We were seniors.
We couldn't even control ourselves to even go in for any kind of class.
We did actually go to the school that morning
Did we?
because we dropped off your brother.
Oh my gosh, this story is getting dumber and dumber.
I think my brother. Came with us because I had
Not a senior.
We had this all set up. I had talked to my grandma, and she called in for me.
Oh, nice.
Called in sick for me.
Both days?
She was going to.
Okay. Did she
Pretending
call,
to be
did she
my
call
mom.
in and say, oh, that Kevin, he's going to be sick till Tuesday.
No, she would have had to call in again on
Sounds like
Monday.
he's got the 4-day flu.
4-day flu. I don't know. I don't know how I
Yeah, I'm
arranged
not
it.
sure what you pulled off.
Probably didn't Always gonna.
You're the catalyst. You're the one. Gotcha.
Well, it doesn't turn out. We knew the truant officer of the school was our former football coach. Okay, so it's Scott and I,
the layers.
our buddy Brad, who we've mentioned before. And someday we'll have to try to get Brad on here to defend himself because but
because there he is under that bus. You keep throwing
we keep throwing him under the bus.
Under the bus.
But what I'll say is we won't invite him on. If he ever hears our podcast, then he can contact us and
please,
and we'll let him on.
Yeah,
but we go to his house after we dropped your brother off at school. We're there. We're eating some breakfast. His grandma had called in for him because she lived with him. We're just about ready to leave to go to Columbus. The phone rings. And it's his dad. And, grandma answers. Well, our football coach had called his dad because his dad worked in the school district. He realized that, Brad and Scott weren't there. I wasn't there. He knew we all ran around together. And so he tells his grandma to put him on the phone. And it's like, you guys better get to school right now. So we go to school. Of course, we've already missed a class or two. I remember the coach was like, I didn't want you guys to miss fun day.
Yeah, the coach throws us a little barb out.
He gives us detention for the rest of the school year. Which, there was maybe a couple weeks left. But we had detention, last 2 weeks our senior year.
Freaking get.
I
think we should have just went on to Columbus.
We would have been better off.
I
we
think
might as well
have been.
Because then...
Because I would have got some good records and...
Yeah.
I wouldn't have cared about anything at that point.
I had so many demerits for me and Tardy because of my brother was always making us run late. And so my teacher would always mark me tardy when I was late. His teacher was like, "Oh, that's okay."
Really?
Yeah.
And
it was his fault we were late.
It was fault. Dear God.
So once we got I had 5 demerits for skipping school. I was like one away from being suspended.
Really?
Yes. So we could not skip on senior skip day.
No,
we're the only seniors there on senior skip day.
So, just to rehash, if you'd went to those classes, that would have been blow-off, pointless classes.
Yeah, right.
And then attended an event literally intended just to be fun. Where you realistically probably had a better chance of picking up girls.
Actually, than Ohio State, because
realistically had a better chance of picking up girls.
Realistically, I would say they're probably about the same.
Okay.
Which is very low.
Yeah. But realistically, you were never going to pick up a college girl.
No.
College may have already been out by that point.
Yeah, it might have been.
That would have been better. I wish you would have went and found out that those girls weren't there. But anyways.
But we thought we were. I think the thing is, this is what happens to generally, I guess for lack of a better word, guys that don't generally do anything like that or get in trouble. And the one time that we decide to do something where we get some sort of plan together, this is what happens.
Yeah.
We get detention for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And the actual day that we're supposed to have off, we have to show up. Nobody else in the school.
We're like the only us and like the super nerdy kids that aren't going to skip.
Yeah.
We're like the only ones that were there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's hilarious. I definitely skipped on senior skip day.
Did you?
But I didn't try to make it some sort of big elaborate thing.
Tried to go for the 4-day.
Yeah, no, I did not try to go for the 4-dayer. I don't think many people do.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think it might have been the best way to go.
I think you probably take what you're given, but we wanted another bite.
Yeah, and I did go to the senior day with the carnival and
Did you?
everything.
We did too.
But yeah, well, I went and didn't have negative repercussions. And I also just went to school and just phoned it in every day, pretty much my entire senior year, because I didn't have real classes.
I don't know why. We just thought we could.
We just thought it'd be fun.
I mean, I tried to, I took 2 different art credits senior year, and I didn't need art anymore. By that point, I needed 3 more credits. Or something like that, actual 3 more credits, and then I took a ceramics class and something else, and sports and literature.
Sports and literature?
Where a class I don't even think we really talked about sports. Or literature.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hindsight, probably should have, obviously.
Yeah, I can see where you could see that in hindsight.
But we thought we were
Ferris Bueller type dreams.
Maybe that's what it was. Just too big for her britches. Probably. The What You Gonna Want to Do podcast is brought to you by Sobecalp. We've all got that friend who is constantly be sure to
Another writing mistake.
air quotes sick.
He pulled a Joe Biden.
You read where you're not supposed to. That was a stage direction.
No matter what is going around, they got a case of it. It doesn't matter if it's this season's flu, COVID, rickets, scurvy, gunshot wounds, or the Ebola. They got it, and they got it bad. You are sympathetic, but it only goes so far. You would give them anything, not necessarily to relieve their symptoms, but just to shut them up. Now you can give that hypochondriac the most widely tested drug of all time. It doesn't matter what the drug was designed to do. Sobecalp has been right there by its side as an integral part of the testing. Sobecalp cures everything and nothing at the same time. Your sick friend will be amazed by this wonder drug. Just don't let them take it in front of a mirror. Sobecalp, maybe it'll work.
This week for our Bible segment, we're going to be starting Hebrews chapter 11 all the way through
Chapter 12.
chapter 12, verse 2. It's all one continuous thought. So I'm going to start with that. So Hebrews 11, verse 1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. For by it the people of old received their commendation. By faith we understand that the universe was created by the word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible. By faith Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which he was commended as righteous, God commending him by accepting his gifts, and through his faith, though he died, he still speaks. By faith Enoch was taken up so that he should not see death. He was not found because God had taken him. Now before he was taken, he was commended as having pleased God. And without faith it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who seek him. By faith Noah, being warned by God concerning events as yet unseen, in reverent fear constructed an ark for the saving of his household. By this he condemned the world and became an heir of the righteousness that comes by faith.
By faith Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. And he went out, not knowing where he was going. By faith he went to live in the land of promise, as in a foreign land, living in tents with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city that has foundations, whose designer and builder is God. By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful who had promised. Therefore, from one man, and him as good as dead, were born descendants, as many as the stars of heaven, and as many as the innumerable grains of sand by the seashore. These all died in faith, not having received the things promised, but having seen them and greeted them from afar, and having acknowledged that they were strangers and exiles on the earth. For people who speak thus make it clear that they are seeking a homeland.
If they had been thinking of that land from which they had gone out, they would have had opportunity to return. But as it is, they desire a better country, that is, a heavenly one. Therefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared for them a city. By faith, Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Isaac, and he who had received the promises was in the act of offering up his only son, of whom it was said, "Through Isaac shall your offspring be named." He considered that God was able even to raise him from the dead, from which, figuratively speaking, he did receive him back. By faith, Isaac invoked future blessings on Jacob and Esau. By faith, Jacob, when dying, blessed each of the sons of Joseph, bowing in worship over the head of his staff.
By faith, Joseph, at the end of his life, made mention of the exodus of the Israelites and gave directions concerning his bones. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden for 3 months by his parents, because they saw that the child was beautiful, and they were not afraid of the king's edict. By faith, Moses, when he had grown up, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to be mistreated with the people of God to enjoy the fleeting pleasures of sin. He considered the reproach of Christ greater than the wealth, the treasures of Egypt. He was looking to the reward. By faith, he left Egypt, not being afraid of the anger of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. By faith, he kept the Passover and sprinkled the blood, so that the destroyer of the firstborn might not touch them.
By faith, the people crossed the Red Sea as on dry land, but the Egyptians, when they attempted to do the same, were drowned. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they had been encircled for 7 days. By faith, Rahab, the prostitute, did not perish with those who were disobedient, because she had given a friendly welcome to the spies. And what more shall I say? For time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were made strong out of weakness, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. Women received back their dead by resurrection. Some were tortured, refusing to accept release, so that they might rise again to a better life.
Others suffered mocking and flogging and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were killed with the sword. They went about in skins of sheep and goats, destitute, afflicted, mistreated, of whom the world was not worthy, wandering about in deserts and mountains, and in dens and caves of the earth. And all these, though commended through their faith, did not receive what was promised, since God had provided something better for us, that apart from us they should not be made perfect. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God.
Thank you. This passage is like one of my all-time favorite, and I've always thought it would be really cool to hear like a football coach, someone with that kind of voice and that, that passion, like a pregame pep talk.
Yeah.
Because for me, it has that effect when I read this. Like if I'm feeling, low, weak in my faith, I'll go and read this passage, and it's so inspiring to me that, I've read it. I don't know how many. I should have it memorized. I've read it so many times, but just all of that it brings out. Beginning by talking about what faith is, giving the definition of it, and then going through, the whole Old Testament. And I think that towards the end, he's actually getting into people from the New Testament, that were tortured and killed for their faith as well. Mm. But it's just inspiring. Mm-hmm. Even though many of those people died, but they died, in the faith and didn't lose their faith. Were willing to take that even up to the point of death, and I find that so inspiring. So I think that we discussed it. We're going to go through this whole passage. I thought it'd be good to read the whole thing as it was written, just because of how inspiring it is all together. But I think we'll go through it in the coming weeks, and we'll just go as many verses as works out each time, and discuss it. And I think that'll be our Bible topic for the next several weeks. So it'll kind of be our first series, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, but it'd be so cool to hear some great football coach voice reading that thing. Yeah. I've just always thought that'd be awesome. So
yeah.
If there's any great football coaches out there that love the word and would love to read this for us, we would come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast.
It's an invitation.
Yeah. Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
Tony Dungy loves Jesus.
Yeah, Tony Dungy.
I'm sure that'd be a big get.
Awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, do you guys have anything to add on to this?
No. It's such a neat to hear it again as we're each reading it. Listen to you and then Caleb.
Yeah.
And listen to how when I'm reading it, listening to it, it's just a great encapsulation of faith through the Bible.
Yeah.
The Old Testament, at least, and touching on the New Testament, like you said.
Yeah.
It's a nice encapsulation of those moments.
Yeah.
Abraham, Isaac, Noah, Moses. We would go through Exodus. The flood and all. I think it just does a great job of that and keeps echoing faith throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
It's an awesome reminder of what God was able to do in all those people's lives.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And with all those people.
Right. And when you read that and see the fact that you brought them through it, He's able to do that for us in our lives, and the things that we go through and will go through, have gone through. God's always there, and He's always faithful. So.
Yeah. I think that's a great reminder, and I know I say it in general, but I really do mean, and I'm talking about myself, to remember passages like this, because I can get so caught up in the emotion of whatever it is, and you just want to get through that emotional and go to the Word, and your human nature just is flitting all around, and it's good that I continue to hear this for the rest of my life, is that when things do turn, and you know, I'm not trying to be a downer, but eventually, you know,
Ups and downs
of life, that you reach for the Word and not your own strength. And that's just, it's a great, another, not that that's the only, I mean, there's so much in the passage like there is in verses period, but that's another aspect that I love to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
So that's a great passage.
It reminds me of, and I can't think of any exact passages, but there's chunks of the Old Testament where it's recounting what God did for the Israelites, and it reminds me a lot of that. It's a lot of just like, you know, just telling you what he did and how he did it. And it is a good reminder, something that I think we need all the time.
That's the great thing about the Word of God. It's just, it never gets old. You know, no matter how many times you read it, you're going to find something new.
It's like it's living and active.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And something different
Sharp or something. Maybe
something
like a
different
sword
will pop out to you, you know, each time. You know, you may have read that scripture hundreds of times, but then, you know, this time, this part pops out to you. Another time, something else, you know, is really impressed upon you. So that's the amazing thing. And it, like Caleb said, it's living.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. It says it.
It says
I was
that.
just quoting it.
True.
Well, that's
Not my words.
Well, but you brought a good reminder of it.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's living, and it can change. I got to be careful here. You can pull out things that you didn't see before when you read it in context.
Right.
But it's also
Unchanging.
Yeah.
It's eternal.
Yeah.
But
it's giving us something fresh and new every time.
That's really
It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So awesome. So that's what we're going to be doing the next several podcasts. We're going to be going through Hebrews 11 and the first few verses of chapter 12. So
Awesome.
So tune in for that, people.
Yeah.
Watch us live.
What You Gonna Want to Do cares. It felt like you had been alone forever. Perhaps you were widowed, went through a horrible breakup, or you just never found the right person. None of that matters anymore, though, because at last you have finally found the one. In your whole life, you have never met someone quite like them. They always know just the right thing to say. Your heart flutters whenever you see you have a text, IM, or email from this amazing person. When you're not conversing with them, you spend hours just staring at their picture. Who can blame you? They are flawless. I mean, not a blemish, not one wrinkle. You think to yourself, they're just too good to be real. We at the What You Gonna Want to Do podcast want you to know they are not. You've never met them in person. Stop sending them money. Block them from contacting you. They are 100% fake. All this time, nobody wanted you. Now, miss. What? What's happening?
This is the darndest public service announcement I've ever heard.
This is dark.
Well, now Mr. and Mrs. Perfect does. Come on. What you're going to want to do cares. This has been a public service announcement.
Did you say they IM you?
Yeah.
What in the early 2000s is going on? Well, thanks for not touching that dial. Now we're going to get into this day in history.
I didn't realize we were on.
All right.
We've been on this whole time.
Are you kidding me?
We're not keeping any of that stuff.
Nah, but this
You gotta
day
pay
in
extra for that stuff.
That's behind the
Stuff's
paywall.
crazy.
Yeah, that's our
For Patreon.
Patreon.
So Scott,
Pulled it off.
anybody interesting or anything
Well, I'm
interesting
glad you
happen on
asked,
this day?
Caleb.
And what day is this?
Oh, that's a good question.
October the 10th.
This is for October the 10th.
News of the day.
Well, not historical.
Historical, yeah.
You made it seem like we were
Right.
doing some
Things
sort of
that happen.
early edition sort of thing.
Let me give you
Global
we'll
flood.
go with births today.
Sure.
Famous births or notable.
Yeah.
You know. Brett Favre.
Ah,
Hey.
yeah. Brett Favre.
He recently had a diagnosis of
Murder.
no, like Parkinson or something.
I didn't hear that. Yeah. And yeah.
He was
Yeah, it's a
a
shame.
great quarterback.
Yeah,
Dude had a rocket of an arm.
Yeah.
Dislocated guy's fingers when he threw him the ball.
Started off with the Falcons, right?
Atlanta Falcons.
Did he?
Like
For
one
one
year.
year? Okay.
And they didn't want him.
Yeah, they didn't want him.
Sounds like
Trade him
Atlanta.
off to
And Green Bay said,
Green Bay.
thank you.
Yes.
We just needed another Hall of Fame quarterback real
Yeah.
quick.
Right.
And then we'll just move on from him to another Hall
Glad
of
that
Fame.
you passed that.
Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah, could have used him.
Yeah.
The Nora Roberts. She's a novelist.
I've heard the
that
name.
could have been.
Is she the one that does all the letters?
Uh,
That's somebody else.
I think she
Like
just
A is blah
at
blah
Sue
blah.
at Sue Grafton.
Yeah.
This is
I've
she
read-
writes.
Well,
just
I've
thinks-
read the same amount of both of them, so
Oh, okay. I think she's
That's the Twilight lady, right?
no. I don't think it is.
I'm good. I'm good being honest with you.
She might have been the Twilight Lady of her day.
That's what I was.
That's what you.
that's
yeah,
what
the
I'm saying.
she was
She's
was
in the twilight of her
before-
career now.
She's dead, probably.
You were on either Team Man or Team Woman.
Okay.
So she wrote a lot of like love, romance.
stories. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All is fair in true love and war.
Like-
Was that her? Did
Like
she say that?
the Men Are From Mars thing or something.
something like that. Yeah.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, and that was Nora Roberts,
I wouldn't say that. I
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens maybe would be better for that.
Okay. But Nora Roberts did stuff in that same vein.
Dickens comes
Yeah.
up quite a bit.
And that she also wrote books.
Maybe if you switch times with like man.
Oh, it was the
Or
best of
woman.
men. It was the worst of men, and that's a direct Nora
Maybe
Roberts quote.
no, it's not direct, but
It's a good paraphrase.
it's a paraphrase or summary of what her work might be.
Nora Roberts adjacent.
Yeah, Robert's adjacent.
Yeah, it's not unlike her.
No, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, we wouldn't be. We're not like blaspheming or anything.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
No, she wrote like romance type things, maybe. you
Like
know.
the
Uh,
hair flowing. Like the
I
shirtless
think it was
guy.
a step above that,
Oh,
maybe.
It wasn't schmuck.
Like a Danielle Steele.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that who wrote
That-
those?
Not the Fabio on the.
It wasn't
No,
Fabio.
not Garish's but you know,
Yeah.
she usually just had her name and script and then the title, you know.
And no guy with this shirt
No,
and a woman clinging to his leg.
Not that I don't. I mean, you're asking a lot of questions, and I'm uncomfortable to answer because I wouldn't know that
Well,
much
Dad,
You're
about.
bringing us the news. I'm just. you should
Dad,
have the
although he
answers.
doesn't
True.
read,
That's fair.
He mostly only writes erotic novels. I don't read
This
anything.
is not true.
Don't make me expose.
No.
Don't make me expose your time travel
nothing.
with questionable
Oh,
content.
Nothing.
Okay,
erotic.
well,
Too
we'll have to-
too hot for this podcast. If you know what I'm saying.
Maybe we ought
if
to
go
read
into.
read a selection from
Yeah,
that.
well, I don't think we're too steamy. People will be like,
I think it survived the last movie.
it makes some of those books seem like children's books.
Not at all.
Oh my!
Yeah, the schmuck. Yeah.
Well, Nora Roberts would be, intimidated.
Yeah, probably. Well, and
doubt
a
it.
little bit grossed out. She'd be like, "Oh my, this is risky."
Here's another great musician.
Oh, okay.
I like him. I think Kevin likes him, and Silas liked him. Thelonious Monk,
Oh yeah.
born today in 1917.
Wow.
Awesome.
So
And
Great clap.
what is the most beautiful song you've ever heard, Silas?
Ruby, my dear.
nice.
Listen to Ruby, My Dear by Thelonious Monk. From what album?
The one featuring John Coltrane.
Featuring John
Nice.
Coltrane.
Yeah,
Ah, yes.
It's beautiful. He played it for me.
that's an awesome one.
It is.
touches my soul.
Caleb's not a jazz
Oh,
fan.
I understand.
I don't believe in. I think jazz is too chaotic.
Too chaotic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot.
Well,
It's
that's fair.
It feels aggressive. It feels like it's trying to.
It certainly can. Yeah, I agree. I can see that.
I feel
absolutely.
assaulted by jazz. It's a
visceral
yeah.
kind of feel.
yeah, assault on my person.
And whereas I find beauty in
The chaos.
yeah. I don't want to really call it chaos, but
I would. I would call it
I
chaotic.
think it's beautiful.
I think.
it's akin to an earthquake and pots and pans being thrown. all
Oh
over the place.
wow. Well, there might not be any hope for you there. I was going to maybe provide some a lifeline. Just saying that I liked it to some degree, but I think over time I developed more of a deeper involvement with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
for me, it's more. It's too much.
Well, this guy was listening to it. Like in his
our producer,
cradle,
director,
basically.
Yeah.
listened to it from the cradle.
Yeah.
Kev.
Just about.
We also once talked about the copious amounts of sand he ate as a small child. So let's not forget that. Maybe some of it's still loose in there, and things aren't firing quite the way they should be. It's a lot of the sand stuff. It's not the sand.
I'll give you one. Let me give you two quick other events. A big death. I talked about him at the dinner table tonight. A lot of people. We were all talking to who other people said we looked like. And, and I made a
Dame Judi Dench. You said
Dame Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench.
Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis Diller. And you were
Shaka Khan.
No, you weren't.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Ricky Martin.
Yeah. Well, they did get that one time.
Okay.
That was.
And I was told anymore that I looked like Orson Welles, the later one.
The late Orson Welles.
The not attractive one. But it said that he died today.
Orson Welles?
Age 70.
What year?
1985.
So I never knew a time where Orson Welles was with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And he did the War of the Worlds, right? He
Yes.
did that. Have you ever gone back and listened to that broadcast?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Have you listened to it before?
I stay at
They
most
have
nights listening
They
to
have it like on YouTube and stuff.
I have it
Well,
you can listen
I'm a
to.
big fan of his Citizen Kane movie.
Yeah.
I thought, I know some people, they don't get
Some
it.
people say it's one of the best.
Yeah,
movies
I
of all time.
really enjoy it. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Is that the Rosebud one?
Yeah.
I almost went Red Rum, but that is not this. That's not
Not at all.
Red Rum.
But you're right. It was the Rosebud.
I would venture to
The
say Red
sled,
Rum
did it
probably.
remind him of the sled?
I bet Red Rum
boy.
was lightly inspired by Rosebud.
It might have been.
Sure.
They're not too far off from being the same word. Share a lot of similar letters.
Yes. Very
There's
similar.
and a lot of them are like close in the same
That is
same
true.
shapes.
Yeah, I think you might have something.
What else you got, Scott?
Well, let's go to, how about hockey today? A little sports.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love hockey.
Canadian hockey player Wayne Gretzky.
Hey, the great one.
Yeah.
He made his NHL debut with the Edmonton Oilers.
Really?
Wow.
1970, today in 79.
He started with the Oil. See, I didn't know that he played for anybody other than the Rangers. Didn't he play for the Rangers too? Famously.
I thought it was the Rangers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, but he started with the Oilers.
Yeah, I didn't know he started. Yeah, he wasn't.
I
with the
did.
Oilers.
I guess I didn't know he kind of moved around. I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, he played for.
That's weird though, because
He played in L.A.
for the Kings.
I think.
Maybe.
I don't. Honestly, I don't follow hockey, but you
But
know
it
that
just,
name.
It just seemed like
He's-
during that era, it wasn't a big time for people to move around a whole
Right,
lot,
yeah.
and then especially when it's the best player to ever do a sport.
Yeah. But I mean, same era. Well, he played before, but he was still playing during that time. We talked about Pete Rose earlier. You know, that's when they started doing that because he was like one of the first people to go free agent or whatever when he left the Reds, went to the Phillies.
Yeah.
And
good
from that
point.
point, it kind of
That's a good
started.
point.
It kind of started players doing that, demanding more.
I feel like you backed me a little bit in a corner with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to speak ill of Pete Rose, but not the best player in the sport ever.
No,
In comparison to Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, he's the all-time hit king.
Yeah,
so,
okay. I'm not trying to step on anything the man accomplished.
Gretzky had all kinds of records.
Yeah.
Rose had played most winning games.
I guess it's just weird from.
Hits.
I'm just saying it's weird that you let the best player in the sport go. The best player maybe ever to be in the sport. Still, people would say this. I think it's weird. That's all I said. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No, yeah, it's all right. I think that it is interesting because I don't recall him starting with the Edmonton Oilers. I thought he was always with the Rangers.
Yeah.
The whole time, so I didn't know that myself. But just some
interesting
highlights and some famous people.
Cool.
Again, I'm not saying that. I just want that to go out. I think Pete
sure.
Rose was a fantastic baseball player.
Oh, absolutely.
And obviously the hit king.
No, I didn't.
I don't.
No, you're good
oranges,
with
Gretzky's and Roses. I don't want to go compare.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't have odd news per se. I've got this little oddities article I found, and it's baseball related. I found this actually before.
Those are that's your handwriting.
I know.
This isn't an article at all.
Yeah, it was easier to do it this way than the way they had it. What this is
Starting to feel like this is from a credible source.
each team, the last year that they won the World Series. Okay, and
The Reds was 1990.
Who was the number one Billboard artist that year?
Really?
Tony Braxton.
That they when that team won it.
Tony Braxton.
And so I wrote these, and I'm only going.
Dude, a bunch of white thing again.
There is absolutely no. Whitesnake was never the number one Billboard artist for any year ever in the history of the world.
Not one time.
Not one time.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Ever.
Here I go again.
So no Whitesnake.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Even when Here I Go Again came out.
So keep the Whitesnake stuff.
I'm glad you said that different than what you were going to say.
Yeah, it was a nice save.
Yeah.
I'm going in alphabetical order, okay? But we're only going from 2008, which is the year that this guy graduated from high school.
Hey, Caleb.
Back.
Yeah.
Because who cares, who won the World Series last year, who was the artist or whatever. Most of the artists.
Well, it's so recent.
Most of the
let's
artists
go back a
after
bit.
then, I don't know. A lot of them I don't know.
So 2008.
That's fair.
Is it the Red
That's
Sox?
So we're not going.
Oh.
We're going alphabetically.
Oh, alphabetically.
So
We're doing alphabetical order by year.
And then I also looked up by year.
Alphabetical order by year.
That will be tough.
So 2008. 8 starts with
But
an
I
E.
also found
So we're going with
Either-
E.
From all the way back to the start of the World Series.
there's not that many. This is the last year that a team won the World Series. Okay,
Oh, okay.
it's for each team.
Oh, okay.
So not every single World
I
Series.
got you. Yeah.
Oof.
All right.
I was getting worried.
So
the White Sox.
we're starting off.
What was that? Sorry.
They're in here.
The White Sox.
We're starting off in 2001.
Okay.
All right. You remember that World Series? It was a pretty big one because it was
that
right after.
That was the Yankees and the Diamondbacks.
Yes.
And the Diamondbacks won.
The Diamondbacks
they
won.
Because I took an unpatriotic approach, and I was hoping because I'm a baseball fan.
Yeah.
I love the game.
Yeah.
And I wanted the Diamondbacks to beat the poop out of the Yankees.
Well,
Because who wants to see the Yankees win another series?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Why we're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
We said
you've got no.
kick them while they're down. No, I'm just kidding. But that's not funny. But I just didn't want to see the Yankees win.
Yeah.
Oh, they won. They win
Right.
all the time.
But there was a big moment in that World Series. The first pitch at Yankee Stadium when Bush came out, threw out the first strike.
Yeah.
Threw a strike. You
Yeah,
know,
that was
after everything that had
Man, there
transpired,
were some really
that
good
was
baseball
a
players.
really iconic moment
Yeah, it
in
was.
sports.
And that Arizona team was good.
Yeah.
Man, they had some dudes.
Yeah, they did.
Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson,
Randy Johnson. Yeah.
Steve Finley running around the outfield. Some guys, man.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any idea who the #1 Billboard artist was that year?
2001.
Yeah.
Can you give us a genre, or would you not?
I would say
Is R&B,
bluegrass. No.
Bluegrass?
R&B. Yeah.
Was it R&B?
R&B.
hip hop? No, not hip hop. Is it a male or female?
Female.
Yep.
Oh, Beyonce.
She was part of it.
What? 2001.
TLC.
Destiny's Child.
Oh, Destiny's Child.
Was it Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls?
That's what it was.
Is there a song or just the artist?
Just the artist. They were the #1 Billboard
Oh,
artist that
I
And they
year.
were crushing it. Probably with the song we've all heard.
Probably. Want to sing a few bars?
With
Yeah,
the song we all heard.
No Scrub, probably. No Scrub.
That's TLC, right?
No. It's Destiny's Child. Everybody knows.
I'm pretty sure
Scott,
it's
sing
not.
it. Sing it. Scott, if
Oh,
you just
me.
want.
All right, we're moving back 1983.
Okay.
83.
Going,
Oof, this is
going
before I was
alphabetically. Before Caleb was born.
Okay.
He's sporting their hat.
Hey, all right.
83?
83.
Nice.
Was Rifkin on the team? It was his rookie year.
I think so.
They won his rookie year, I think.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. It was not this hat.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it was the cartoon.
Card,
right.
Yeah. Yep.
I do own that hat
And
too.
sadly, on the day that we're recording this, they were eliminated from the playoffs.
They were eliminated. Just
Yeah, it's a
hours
shame.
ago.
You gotta be able to score the runs.
you got to produce.
One
Yeah,
run in 2
produce.
games isn't gonna get it
No
done.
thanks to that holiday kid.
The #1 song for the year,
Number
Okay.
one song.
just
83.
not the artist, but the #1 song for that year was
Kiss.
No. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler.
You didn't even let us try.
I didn't know you wanted to guess.
Oh well.
But
Oh, yeah. He
they're
could've-
still
he
the
probably
Billboard
got it.
artist.
Yeah, I'm glad we
Oh,
made
Billboard artist. We
Oh,
still
okay.
got
Billboard
that.
artist
Oh,
is what
okay.
you're guessing. I was just giving you a little.
Yeah,
more.
get a little
I got a
extra.
little,
Take away the
little
fun.
extra for everything to throw at you.
Yeah, I'm glad you. I was worried there was gonna be a good time.
Sometimes there's maybe the #1 song or a little news thing or
What was
something.
the fun for 2001?
The Bush thing.
Oh, so we have different meanings of what fun is. That was what Scott was thinking.
Fun maybe
he was-
or interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Yeah, because I would argue that wasn't fun. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, Cal, that's pretty
Good,
cool.
good
Yeah.
memories.
Okay,
But
so
the #1 Billboard artist for 1983.
Okay.
Guesses?
The Police.
ABBA.
No.
ABBA.
No.
What was it?
83, man. Not White.
Oh, okay. But
Michael Whitesnake
Oh,
Jackson.
it was.
never heard him called that nickname
Ooh.
before.
It was Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And it was Thriller.
Was it
83?
Thriller?
That's too
Yeah.
soon.
Was
that
it
too soon?
Is it too soon?
I
No,
don't
I
know.
think you're right. I think he's got it.
Yeah, Thriller.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'd have to look that up. All right, we're jumping to 2005.
2005. Red Sox.
You mentioned this team
Oh,
earlier.
Yankees? I've said a lot of teams.
I know, but you said this
The
one.
White Sox?
The White
yeah.
Sox.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's a.
I forgot about that. So 2005.
This is your high school years.
I was in high school at one point. This
I
is.
was in high school at one
The
point.
Is it still R&B?
yeah, probably rap would be
Lil Wayne.
no.
Dang it.
Even
Smaller Wayne.
Little bitty Wayne.
Teeny weeny Wayne.
Tupac.
Tupac was dead by then.
Oh, sorry.
Was he?
Yeah. Well,
Is he?
but he was probably dropped a record
Is he?
that year.
Is he?
He probably dropped some music that year though.
Probably. And Elvis
Jay-Z.
putting out the music. No,
Eminem.
no.
Yeah.
This is all the rappers.
Jay-Z.
For the record, in 2005, I wasn't listening to hip hop music.
Nor was I.
Well, I could say I wasn't.
50 Cent.
Yes.
That's it.
50
Good
Cent?
job, Caleb.
I might. You could probably find him in the club. That's probably what got him that.
perhaps.
And that song is
Do
graphic.
you want to guess what the number one song was?
Number
that
one
year?
song that year.
It wasn't by him.
It was by Nelly. It was Hot in Her.
No. No, it was not.
It wasn't?
It was R&B though.
It was?
Oh,
Okay.
R&B.
No, it was not
Usher.
R&B. It was hip hop.
Oh,
It was Nelly.
No.
Oh, Eminem.
Mm,
Lil Wayne. Little John and the East Side Boys.
This is the year that this guy was born.
He's not gonna remember that.
He might.
It was
Who we're talking
Pharrell.
No.
It was
the Fat Boys.
It was P Diddy.
Fat Boys. 2 Live Crew.
Too soon. Biz Markie.
No. Want me to give it to you?
It's Marky.
Because this is
You.
got
Notorious B.I.G.
Kanye.
Oh.
Gold Digger.
Oh.
Okay.
Number one song.
That's not even
2005.
Kanye's best song. And Dad, you said you don't really like his music, but you like him a lot as a person.
I never said that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's
He throws
refreshing.
this stuff out all the time. But no.
Well, you said
not
but
true.
You've told Scott and I both off camera how much
Yeah,
you really
I-
like what
Absolutely.
away from the music.
Yes,
you like who
100%
Kanye is.
Yeah,
have
who he
not
is as a
You
person.
said similar
yeah.
things about
Never
Diddy,
said that. Anyway, moving on.
but you won't deny
Obviously controversial,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll
My
stay
team.
away from that.
Yeah,
Last year they won it.
the Reds, 1990.
Yeah,
Wire to wire.
1990, yeah.
Yep.
Tony Braxton.
And
Unbreak My Heart.
Scott had mentioned 2 Live Crew. 3 members of 2 Live Crew were
Oh.
acquitted for obscenity charges.
Oh, really? That makes sense.
Like right around the same time the Little Caesars
makes
going on.
sense.
That's insane.
But who was the number one Billboard artist
Phil Collins.
in 1990?
1990.
No.
It wasn't?
It could have been Phil Collins. So
It
it
could
could
have
have
been.
like that.
No, I was going to say.
You too.
Could have been then. No.
Boy George, just by himself, his solo stuff.
No.
It was George Michael for the father figure song.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no.
Michael
Jackson again.
No.
Let's see.
Madonna.
Madonna. It's got to be Madonna.
No.
No?
What are those guys
Definitely
who
pop.
What are the guys who wore their clothes backwards?
Not them. But it was a
Right
boy.
said Fred.
A boy
It
band.
was a boy band.
Menudo.
No.
One Direction. That wasn't. That's
No,
too soon.
no, they weren't.
It's not NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys. That's too soon.
Right.
It's
What's the other one?
the
New Kids on the
New
Block.
Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
19.
And they had that famous song. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
We're the new ones here, by New Kids on the.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were,
They were new.
first.
Did they do the Bye 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 song?
That was either NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
that was
wow.
years later, like maybe almost
Yeah,
pushing a decade.
I'd be lost to name a New Kids song.
Well, their
Not
first
my
album, probably off their first album, Introductions,
Probably.
because they were new kids.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay.
Probably
That
not.
was the best.
Who do you think was the first boy band, though?
Ooh.
Who would you consider?
Well, I think. What are you gonna say? And here's why you're
Yeah,
wrong.
Babe.
You just call me Babe.
No, I said maybe.
The Monkees,
Ooh.
because they weren't. Did all of them actually play the music?
A
Yeah.
couple of them did.
But okay, I could see where the. Well, here's why I'm saying that, because 9 times out of 10, boy bands are put
Don't
together.
play- yeah.
Like
They
they're a
don't-
yeah,
class
yeah,
and an
you're right.
ensemble.
Well,
and they're
I
not
mean,
musicians.
if you're going with not musicians, then the one I was thinking of was thrown out.
Well, that's what I was said, because I knew you were going to be wrong. So I didn't want you to embarrass yourself on the camera. But go ahead and say what you're going to say. People are watching this.
I was thinking like Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Oh, you could say that, but they
A couple
did
of
play
them
instruments.
played.
Well, now you look ridiculous.
I was thinking they did too. The Osmonds played instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe. Well, the Monkees did. Who was it then? Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
Then who would
Who
be next
what?
after that?
Do we know?
I'd say the Monkees definitely followed that criteria, though.
What was
like
the
maybe
group
they set
that-
the bar.
What was the group that Bobby Brown was in? Because they were before.
Oh, New
these
Edition.
guys.
What
New
about Marky
Edition.
Mark?
And the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. New Edition.
Yeah.
Who wasn't that? Bobby Brown.
It could have been, but I don't. That was a little before my
I
time.
don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
We probably, yeah. Could have been. 1948.
Ooh.
We're jumping clear back to 1948.
Oh, my.
Any idea what team that was?
1948.
Think of what baseball team can you think of that hasn't won a World Series forever?
Yeah.
The Indians.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Cleveland Indians.
So, tie a yellow ribbon.
No. That was during our lifetime.
Oh gosh, you're older than I thought.
This person I have never even heard of.
Really?
Number one Billboard
Oh,
artist
no.
in 1948
Nat King Cole.
Margaret Whiting.
Oh, and she sang "Oh Baby."
Sure.
Probably couldn't say that. That censors would cover that up.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Man.
Barbara.
Oh, that handsome husband of mine.
Oh, golly gee.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a little risky for them.
Well, yeah.
Barbara Whiting. I don't think I've heard her.
Well, she
I saw that.
Mostly
Is that
jazz.
person even real?
what she do?
Mostly
Like
jazz.
big band.
era,
Oh,
Yeah.
big
wasn't
band
it?
era. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Pretty
played a
much.
lot of horn. It was a lot. It was horn heavy stuff.
Okay.
She did a lot.
Cornet or something. Did they
Yeah,
list
since-
the song?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
and I
okay.
didn't look
You
it
just
up.
looked
But
at it.
I thought since
She was
You
the
guys
number one
weren't gonna
recording
get that?
artist.
that year the Cleveland Indians beat the Braves,
Ooh.
what city were the Braves in?
Oh, that's
that
48.
That's a good one. I know it too.
Milwaukee.
St. Louis.
year? No,
Ah.
Not Milwaukee.
Yeah, not Milwaukee.
they weren't in Milwaukee yet.
They were in Boston.
They were in Boston.
Oh,
in 48.
Good job.
In 48.
Good job, Caleb. You worked it out.
But I don't believe it. I mean,
Oh, there's some questions.
I
yeah.
looked it up.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's not
We're
mine.
jumping to 1984.
Oh, back to the
84. So the year after the 83 one.
Yep.
So it's probably still. Who's that? Who's 83?
83 was Baltimore.
Baltimore.
It was
yeah.
Michael Jackson with
That
Thriller.
was Michael Jackson, yeah.
Oh,
What
so
was
this
the-
has
what
to
was
be.
the team?
Oh, the
Oh,
team. Yeah, we got to
84.
come up with that.
Well, it's not.
It's
It's not any of the Florida teams because they wouldn't have existed yet.
Nope.
no.
The Braves.
No. But their
We're getting closer.
head coach was one of my all-time favorites.
Lou Piniella.
He also coached the Big Red Machine.
Sparky.
Sparky Anderson says
Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers. 1984.
So,
Nice.
so ironically, it was Kiss.
No.
I was made for the new day.
Prince.
No.
Oh.
But I would
Yeah.
say
So,
R&B, pop.
oh,
yeah.
Billy Ocean.
No.
Yeah,
Billy
that's
Ocean.
good.
Not going to be the number one Billboard
Oh,
artist.
okay. Well,
And if
yeah,
it
that
was,
one song was
I
pretty
tell you
good.
what, if
Yeah.
Billy Ocean had been the number one Billboard artist for any of these years, I would have come up with something else for this whole thing.
Something else. I would have substituted my own.
I want you to listen to Caribbean Queen, and you tell me that song's not good.
Trash.
Wow.
Caribbean, and you
Total
tell me.
garbage.
Tell me that song's not catchy.
The number one song that year.
Is it a man
not
or
by
a
the-
woman? Group?
Man.
Man, okay.
And it's R&B.
The number one
Lionel
song.
Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Good job,
Good job,
Caleb.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Is
The
it
number one
Hello?
song that year was also an R&B artist. Big time.
Big time R&B artist.
Big time.
Smokey Robinson.
Billy Ocean.
No.
Bill-
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, man.
I
And it
just
was-
called to say I love
Oh, okay.
And,
Doggone.
that's ironic because it was the year Hello came out. That's why Lionel Richie was big.
you.
Yeah. That was
Probably so.
I know, but I'm really just shooting from the hip here.
But you got it. That was good, Caleb.
Thank you.
All right. 2002.
2002.
Okay.
Again, I'm a young man.
Youngster.
Again, I'm a young man.
Yeah. 2002, the Red Sox.
No.
But it could have been. You can't tell me it couldn't have been.
They were in the league.
So that's the year. That's the year after. Year after. Is this the Marlins?
No.
Oh, but it could have been the Marlins too. We're getting closer. Tampa Bay.
Los
The
Angeles
Rays.
Angels.
Oh, it was my Angels.
Oh, the Angels.
All right.
That's when they were in the outfield. The Angels were in the outfield.
The outfield.
Yeah, I remember that. Danny Glover was the coach. Ted Danson was the pitcher. And
That's great. Danny Glover was the.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a big fan.
Oh,
Christopher
okay.
Lloyd was an
Okay.
angel.
Christopher Lloyd, the head angel. He was kind of in charge of it.
Gabriel, some might say.
I don't remember.
I don't
think
remember.
that's what his name is.
Gabriel or something.
Yeah, probably not.
Because he was
Probably
he was a head angel for baseball stuff.
So
Yeah,
we're
that's true.
going with the Billboard artist was R&B this year.
Oh,
2000
His name has been mentioned.
2005.
oh, it's been mentioned? Okay.
R&B. It's Usher.
No.
Nelly.
Nelly.
Oh,
Now,
that's
there you
hot
go.
here.
And this is the only year
gotta be
during,
hot here.
during these years anyway that the number one song that year was also by the number one artist.
Nelly, hot in here.
Oh,
No.
What is it?
Dilemma?
I don't know that one.
I don't
Who
even
even knows that song? I think you made
I
that
don't
up.
know any songs by Nelly.
It's hot
It's
in
just
here.
not my. Is that he said?
Wow.
Is that I know
Hot in
that?
here. That's kind of the big one. You probably know that Tim McGraw one. There was one with Nelly and Tim McGraw, and that's what I think gave birth to modern country.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so blame Tim McGraw.
so
It's
that's
what I
what we
say
have
for a
to
lot of
blame.
things.
That's what I say for a
Yeah,
lot.
thanks a lot, Tim McGraw.
2003.
2003, okay.
Boston Red Sox,
No.
Florida Marlins,
Florida Marlins.
Hey, all right.
Miguel Cabrera.
We have our first,
Nice.
Miguel
Nice,
Cabrera. Rookie, wasn't
Man, he was so good.
he? He was.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Freaking love him.
That's awesome.
Our first repeat artist, there's two that
Oh,
were in two different
Nelly
years.
again.
No.
Okay.
2 different years.
Yeah, because
Michael
this one's
Jackson.
already been in
He's back.
2003,
You got big in 03.
but it wasn't him.
I lied anyways. It's Lionel Richie, of course.
Of course.
No.
Oh, 50 Cent. Again?
50
He
Cent.
was that big of a deal?
And the number one movie at the box office,
This was what year?
Scary Movie 3.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
boy. Oh,
Man,
that's a bad
It was just a
It
bad
was a
year
bad
for
year
the
'cause
arts.
I couldn't find anything good to pull out besides that.
Oh, man.
When your top artist is 50 Cent and your top movie is Scary Movie 3?
Going back to 1991.
Wow, that's a
91.
bad year that was. I mean, that another one.
91. Atlanta Braves.
No.
But I'm close.
Cardinals.
No.
Ah, it's a team
That
though for
was-
sure.
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays.
No. I'm pretty sure you have one of their hats, or did have. I think I have the hat now.
Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota
Oh,
Twins.
cool. Yeah,
I
the
love the
Twins.
Twins. I love the
Kirby
Twins.
Puckett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. You're not. I'm not. I got nothing for you.
Number one Billboard artist that year?
Nirvana.
Prince.
No.
It would have been perfect though.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
I would have been.
You
But
give
it
us a genre.
Yeah, I'd say
Genre.
R&B.
R&B.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Toni Braxton again.
No. Again, she hasn't been on here.
Well, Scott said it
You
was.
said- it's been said.
Oh, it's
Missy
Brandy. It's
Elliott.
Brandy.
No.
Queen
Latifah.
No.
Latifah.
Oh.
No.
Jay-Z.
Female.
Female recording
R&B
artist from
recording artist.
1991.
Oh, it's Mariah. It's Mariah
It is
Carey.
Mariah
Oh,
Carey.
good job.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Oh man. Whew.
Was this the Christmas song, or was this...
Was it the Christmas song?
Probably out the right
My
year.
goodness.
Yeah.
That Christmas album was something special.
And it's been
album?
that way ever since.
Yeah.
Or the album cover. What are you talking about?
I don't think I feel comfortable answering that
Yeah,
question.
it's
I'm gonna
probably
plead. I'm
best
gonna
we-
plead the fifth.
A little bit of
Cover.
interesting.
Cover.
Thompson twin bandmates Tom Bailey and Alana Curry
Curry.
were married that year.
Oh, wow.
They were
Didn't know
twins
that.
and
They
they
were
got married.
twins and they got married.
That's weird.
And then they got divorced a few years later.
Probably.
Sounds like
yeah.
some White Stripes
It
crap.
didn't work out.
Didn't work
For
out.
the record, they were not actually twins.
Probably shouldn't have called each other that then.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Well, they did.
1986.
Uh-oh. The year we graduated.
The year we graduated.
No, so this
That was
is
a really cool World Series that year.
the hardball era. This is back when pitchers were still just throwing them where the batters told them to. There were just a couple. There were only about 4 teams because they just got into professional baseball. Helmets weren't quite out there yet.
Not true.
4 teams. I love it.
86.
86. This is another classic
Milwaukee.
World Series. There's one particular play.
Milwaukee wasn't even probably a team yet.
There's
Where
one
were they?
particular play. Yeah, they were.
No,
There's one
they weren't.
particular play from this World Series that you've seen
Toronto.
hundreds of times.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Toronto. No. Chicago's more recent. than
Bill
that.
Buckner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boston?
Boston.
But they didn't
Boston.
win.
I'm sorry.
Who beat Boston?
Yeah, who beat Boston?
That's not this. Nobody cares.
Who was it?
It's a National League team then.
Yep. The New York Mets.
Oh, the Mets.
Oh
Yep.
gosh. A
Why
lot
did
of
I
cocaine.
think I had Buckner in my head, but for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cubs.
A lot of coke.
Well,
through the
because he
system.
played for the
He
Cubs.
played
for
for
a
the
long
Cubs.
time.
That's why I got it.
And I mean, he was a really good ball
He
player.
was.
And the
Good
Mets
ball
run
player.
on grit and cocaine.
Pretty much, yeah. Doc Gooden,
The grit-
Strawberry,
the grit from
Ricky
Darryl.
Wilson.
Yeah, Mookie.
Gary Carter played for that team.
yeah. Oh,
We mentioned
Gary.
earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough team. That's right.
Franco was on that team.
Oh, wow.
Closer.
And then you said
Former Red.
this is 86.
86.
So before R&B was
Kevin Mitchell, right?
R&B wasn't around.
Before R&B was-
R&B was definitely around because the #1 Billboard artist that year.
Lionel Richie.
No,
80?
female.
Female,
the lady-
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Good job,
I
Scott.
was going to say the female Lionel Richie.
Oh,
But,
well, that's...
Well, I don't know if that's fair because Whitney, I think, probably a bigger deal than Lionel.
Oh, no.
Well,
Whitney's
big.
probably maybe. I don't know. I got no male. I got no male comparison. I was going to shoot from the hip and it was not going to be
The
right.
#1 song that year?
Was Thriller. It came
Cyndi
back.
Lauper.
Oh,
True Color.
oh, True
Ugh.
Colors. Oh, boy.
not a big Cyndi Lauper fan.
I've liked people more than that.
Mm-hmm. I like most people more than.
Cyndi Lauper has some good stuff.
Oh yeah, could you quickly name one?
There was
I thought
Time
so.
After Time.
Yeah, that was bad.
True Colors.
True Colors is not a good song.
True Colors, the Elmer Fudd version is awesome.
All right, let's get back to
That's
this.
the best.
1989.
Oh, boy.
That's the year I was born.
Hey, there you go.
Yep.
It's the inaugural year, Caleb.
Yeah,
Yep.
Caleb's first World Series,
My first World Series.
and the Earth shook.
Oh, so it was the A's.
A's.
Were in it. They didn't win it. Right?
Oh,
They
nice.
didn't win it.
They did win it.
It beat the Giants.
The Giants. 'cause
Nice.
It was.
The old Oakland.
Yep,
There was no way around
Cisco
getting
Bay.
away from that earthquake.
We have another repeat #1 Billboard
Oh,
artist.
boy.
Yep.
Michael
89?
Jackson.
Yep. 89.
Oh, it's Lionel Richie again. Here he is.
No.
Oh, Whitney Houston.
No. Definitely pop.
Pop.
Ah.
Okay.
Celine Dion.
Repeat artist.
Oh,
We
Well,
mentioned
she-
this one before.
Oh.
That's what repeat means.
50
We've said it
Cent.
before. No.
Oh.
But he did have repeat, but he wasn't this one.
oh, man. Michael Bolton?
We haven't said him one time. That's the first time we brought his name up.
Yeah.
I just want to not say him.
I
make
probably
sure
would
it-
have maybe not done this if he was one too.
You were
that's
trying.
true.
You went, but you felt like he needed his
I mean,
recognition because
yeah.
it's Sting.
This group,
Phil Collins.
kind of borderline not wanting to do it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Boy
Milli
band.
Vanilli.
Oh,
Menudo again?
not Do Kids on the Block.
New Kids
Oh.
on the Block.
Oh,
89.
man.
89 and 90, they were.
Oh,
They were
gosh.
tearing it up.
Yeah.
They having
I
the
mean,
time of their
That's
life.
bad
Like I
news.
said, can't even remember one of their songs.
I don't know
Well,
what they
you know
did.
the one.
And I
that
don't
they
think
sang.
of them as being 80s artists.
No, I don't either. I think
Yeah.
them into the 90s.
You know the one.
Hey, Cy, what did they sing?
Big New Kids.
You know you
He's
love
not
it.
gonna.
Step by step.
There it is. I know
From
it.
the TV show?
Day by day.
Yeah.
I don't think that was them.
No, that
Fresh
was
start.
Hooters.
Oh, excuse me.
That was what?
This is.
Hooters.
Wow.
Isn't that was song Step by Step? They were the background
had-
band for Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, they were?
What's happening?
Day by day. That's what that was.
Fresh
Yeah.
start over.
Anyway,
Great show.
2008.
2008. You already did 2008.
No, we mentioned that 2008 was the
Yeah.
last year we w're going to do. We never did 2008.
Oh,
Yeah,
2008 was
the
the
last.
Boston Red Sox.
No,
Montreal
Gosh,
Expos.
dang it.
no.
Expos were done by then.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's the Washington Nationals.
No.
Dang it. And it
don't
couldn't
think
be
they-
because it's the San Diego Padres.
No.
Dang it.
Dang it.
And Philadelphia Phillies.
Phillies. Okay.
Ryan Howard.
Oh,
The one guy. The guy who played second.
Mike Schmidt.
Chase Utley.
Chase Utley.
Mike Schmidt.
Carl.
Probably some other guys. There were more than those two.
Mike Schmidt. That's all I got.
Was it Wild Thing? Mitch
No.
Williams? Wasn't he on
That
that?
thing was a fictional character from Major League. Matt.
Oh, wait.
They called this guy that
Oh,
after
they
the
called
show.
after the show.
Oh,
Okay.
Number one artist?
2008.
Yeah. You graduated
Fallout
from-
Boy.
No. Might have been your number one artist that year.
2008.
Wasn't Billboard.
I was
for a
past
while.
Fallout Boy at that point.
Oh, were you?
You know.
Okay.
I think R&B, maybe hip hop.
Usher.
I don't know 100%
Oh,
sure.
yeah, Usher.
Usher.
No.
Jay-Z.
No.
It's
Is it a
It's a
woman?
name,
Drake.
but it's,
Drake was
it's
not,
like first
no.
and last name.
Drake at that time was doing a Canadian teen soap opera.
Oh,
It's a very
Yeah. Yeah, that's how
Humdrum.
hood Drake is.
boring name.
He's Canadian,
Oh,
and
it's
he
a-
was on a teen soap opera. It doesn't get much more gangster than that.
yeah.
That's
You-
gangster
I'll
rap
be-
right
I'll be-
there. No wonder he's got so much street cred. And his name's like Ashley or something like
Really? Oh, boy.
that, right?
Aubrey.
Aubrey. That's
Aubrey.
a lady.
Oh,
That's a.
boy.
I'm going on the record. Lady name.
Yeah. Aubrey. Ooh,
A
boy.
Canadian lady name.
Canadian ladies.
Well, this name could be a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
a
a one
man.
name.
Sam.
No, two names.
It's two
Oh,
names.
first and last.
Okay.
Well, last
Very
name's
boring names.
Oh.
Like if you were doing a
Is
property
this a
search and
recording
you got
artist?
this name, you wouldn't be very happy.
Sam Smith.
No,
John
but that
Legend.
that would make you mad. No.
John's clearly a masculine.
Oh, sorry. We said an ordinary name.
It is ordinary.
Ordinary people.
I mean, I'm sorry.
John Legend.
I'm sorry to anyone that is.
Is it John Legend again?
Chris Brown.
Oh, Chris
that's a guy.
Brown.
I know it's a guy.
And he is a bad dude.
Is he a bad dude?
Yeah, he beat up Rihanna.
Oh, he's that dude?
Yeah, that's that.
And who can
Yeah,
trust a guy
right.
who'd hit Rihanna? I mean, hit on Rihanna, I get it. But hit Rihanna?
Yeah.
The number one
Especially in
song
2008,
from
you know what
that
I'm saying?
year
You Scott gets it.
also was not a good.
He gets it. He does. He gets it.
He gets it.
T.I., have you heard of the artist T.I.?
Yeah.
No, I
Whatever You Like was the number one song that
Oh,
year.
yeah, you can have whatever you like.
Yeah, we're almost.
There's some profanity.
We're
in this
almost
one.
done. I'm not surprised.
There's some profanity.
1979, Scott.
Oh, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Scott's Pittsburgh.
We
Pirates
are family.
last won their World Series, and the number one artist that year, Caleb was actually named this band.
Oh,
Already
Earth,
one
Wind, and
time.
Fire.
No.
Oh, yeah. Earth, Wind,
It's
and
Genesis.
It is not.
Fire. Oh.
That's because it is Kiss.
No.
Oh.
I was
Very
made
much,
for
very
love.
much pop.
Oh, pop.
pop.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
okay.
Even disco.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard
Probably more
Kiss.
disco than.
really?
Kiss did the I was made.
No.
Well, they
it's
did
not
do that
Kiss.
one.
It's not Kiss.
Is it Bee Gees?
No.
I didn't say that. No.
Is it Roberta
Is it-
Flack?
Is it just one person or
No, it's a group.
band?
It's a group.
Oh, Earth,
okay.
Wind, and Fire. I already said Earth, Wind.
No.
Chic.
ABBA.
Oh.
It's ABBA.
Oh man!
The last
That's
year your
amazing.
team won the World Series.
It was
ABBA
ABBA.
was the number one.
That's a
recording
shame.
artist.
The last year the Pirates won, people still thought ABBA was good.
Yeah, that's bad.
And not even like ironically in the Mamma
Yeah,
Mia sense.
yeah. Hey, you should have put your own. I had elect to put my own number one in.
Yeah. What do you
That's-
got?
I don't know yet.
He's gonna go
Anything.
with Sister Sledge. We Are Family.
Yeah,
because
there
it
you
was
go.
The
That's-
Pirates
that was
theme
their
song.
theme song.
The City of Brotherly Love. That's not.
The number one song that year.
Right state, wrong city.
Number one song that year?
Oh, it was We Are Family.
No,
It was Listen to the Music.
Cars.
it was Rise by Herb Alpert.
Oh.
The number one song in the UK that year.
Oh, it was.
Pretty big song for our generation.
Oh, talking about my generation.
No.
By the Who. I got this. I know this. Big song for your generation.
I feel like you got it.
Oh, I think I might. Hold on.
I feel like it's like right there.
It's so close. I just gotta get it. Probably one of those songs that's at the end of a Molly Ringwald movie.
No.
But it's St. Elmo's Fire.
It's at the beginning of something.
It's the beginning of...
Not a movie.
It's the beginning of something, but it's not a movie?
A launch
But it's
of something.
79, though.
Yeah, it's 79, but it's it's big for our generation.
okay.
You think of it more of an 80s song than you do 70s song.
Okay.
Probably something to do with
Do you know?
MTV.
Yes.
I want my MTV.
It does have something to do with
Oh, it
MTV.
does?
Yes.
It wasn't that song?
No. What was the first song on MTV?
Oh, Video Killed the Radio Star.
Killed the
There
Radio
it is.
Star.
In my mind.
Mother Teresa won the Nobel Prize that year.
Oh, wow.
Jimmy
She was
Carter
just a
signed-
daughter then. She wasn't a mother yet.
She
Signed a bill creating the Department of Education.
She was daughter Teresa then.
Daughter Teresa. That's a lot. That's some good stuff.
Do you know the...
Teenage Teresa.
Yeah.
And finally, 1993.
The team from...
One of Sean's favorites. Maybe his favorite.
Yeah, Toronto.
Toronto Blue Jays.
No, they don't exist. That's not true.
Now they don't exist.
Not true at all.
Why was the Expos not on this list?
Yeah, I thought the
never
Expos.
won a World Series.
I thought they had. That's why I said the Expos the one time.
They've not won.
I think that they did, and he's
Oh,
hiding it.
Look it up. They never won.
Oh,
one.
This is
wow.
a big
That's
conspiracy theory. Are you trying to cover up some Harambe stuff?
Not trying to cover up anything.
So Harambe.
Any idea who the...
Who was?
number
What
one
year
artist
again
was
was
that
it?
year?
93.
Yep.
So 93. Well, that's Tony Braxton.
No.
Unbreak My Heart.
Oh.
This one's going to blow your mind.
Oh, it's Bonnie Raitt.
Country.
Oh.
Reba McEntire.
No.
It's
it's
Billy Ray.
No.
Oh.
Oh, what's the one?
Achy breaky.
What's
It's Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
Ah,
Yeah.
the Thunder Rolls.
Or was it Chris Gaines?
Oh, that's right. It could have been Chris Gaines.
Yeah,
But it was
I don't,
Garth Brooks.
I don't think it was the year he had his mental breakdown.
Have you heard that conspiracy theory about
What was it?
that he wanted to like disappear or whatever? So they came out with the Chris Gaines thing,
Yeah.
and then when he came back, he like looked different or something,
Yeah.
and so they're saying that like he retired and went off.
I think a lot of us wished he would have disappeared instead of doing the Chris Gaines
The
album.
number one song in the U.S. that year.
It was in a Thunder Rolls.
We just talked about this lady.
Oh.
Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie
No.
Raitt. Oh, no.
She was the number one Billboard artist.
Shania Twain.
No.
Whitney
Number
Houston.
one. Whitney. Madonna.
We just talked about Whitney
I
not
know.
that long ago. Tony
Mariah
Braxton.
Carey.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right, I gotcha.
Number one
What
song?
song?
What was the song?
I'll be home
Fantasy.
for Christmas.
Dream Lover.
Dream.
Oh, I don't know that one.
And
You're
the number
a
one
dream
song
lover.
in the UK. The number one song in the UK.
Oh, in the UK, 93.
This is Phil Collins.
No.
It's
It's an American artist.
oh, really?
Oh, ironic.
Oh, wow.
So
He
not
was
Steve
from
Winwood.
Texas.
Oh,
Oh.
it's Garth Brooks again?
No.
Oh,
Oh, because he's from
Not,
Oklahoma.
not country.
oh, is it?
Right. Yeah, he's
Texas, but he's not country?
not country.
Is that even a thing? Well, I only know of two things. that
Stevie
come from
Ray
Texas.
Vaughan.
No.
Oh.
Dad, you always told me.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Oh, gosh.
Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
No. That was
Oh.
way before.
I love you. What's the one? But I
do
don't know why.
anything for love.
That's
But
it.
I won't do that.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from Texas.
Yeah, he's from Dallas.
Oh,
There's
is
this
he?
really cool story about him.
Eating a meatloaf in Dallas, Texas.
No. The
That's how
day
he got
that,
his, and they said, you know what? That's what you should call
the
yourself.
day that JFK was shot.
Oh.
Him
That's
and
the
some-
day,
him
same
and
day
some
he was
buddies-
recording I Would Do Anything for Love.
No, he was in high school.
Ironically, that's what, nobody knows it. That's what Paradise by the Dashboard Lights is.
There's your connection. I would do
No, him and some buddies were like
That's great, Caleb.
they had gone to the airport, I think, before like when he came in because one of his
Oh.
friends like
Had a
knew
gun.
some people. You should look up this story though.
Really?
One of his friends like
Was a
knew
sharpshooter.
someone at the airport, and
Had
so
a
they were able to
dead
get
eye.
into the airport.
But he was there?
And I think his friend may have like
Shot
shook his
JFK?
hand or something. No,
No. No, well, that couldn't
But
be it.
they
That
were
couldn't be right,
going-
could it?
Yeah, Meatloaf's friend shot JFK.
I-
Everybody.
No,
We're breaking
not
this-
true.
We're
Hot
breaking
take.
this news.
Not true.
My
But
dad
they-
has got a story
No.
about how Meatloaf's friend.
Don't spread this
No,
around.
I think they had heard he had been shot or whatever.
Of
and
course they
were,
did.
They were
in on it.
driving. They were trying to go
Get
like,
away.
I don't know. Anyway,
Get away.
like a Secret Service guy or somebody like stops them
Hey, mate.
in the middle of the road,
Mr. Loaf.
commandeers
Mr.
their,
Loaf.
commandeers
Quit
their
loafing.
car,
Yeah. And ironically, they
and
didn't
drives them to the hospital where JFK was
Oh.
taken to.
Really?
know. That's
Yes.
crazy.
And so they were like, he's like, gets out of the car, he's like, stay here. And so they, they sat in the car for a long time, and then
Then he pinned. That's
Well,
when he pinned
no,
Paradise by
the Dashboard Lights.
Yeah.
JFK's the car that he had been
That's-
in.
That's when it started to be recorded.
Yeah.
And then it finished and was on MTV. Took him 30, 40 years.
Yeah, but
it
he-
sounded that long,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's he was just started writing it then.
Yeah.
He didn't finish it until
Yeah,
years later.
until years later.
Anyway. They finally, after a while, they got out of the car and they walked over to JFK's car
Oh,
they had
okay.
been in, and they said
That's
it
when
was just
that's
like,
when his friend confessed, and that's.
no. But look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
I kind of like our story better.
I think
Your
it's
story
more
has
entertaining.
has a little.
But that's
his
interesting.
story's really good.
I didn't know he was
Especially
from
hearing
Texas.
his-
How does he tie in the authorship of Paradise by the Dashboard Lights?
He didn't mention.
Oh, that's
It
weird.
didn't come.
How does he? Well, how does he?
I just wondered how because I thought it was kind of just common knowledge that it was tied in with the JFK
You know,
stuff.
when that song, and it was recorded before MTV, whatever live performance it was, you could tell.
Right.
But they put it on MTV,
Yeah.
and when that would come on, Sean and I were like, "Are you kidding me? We gotta listen to the next 8 minutes. They could have been showing 4 videos, and then you go through and oh man,
Meatloaf,
come
They
on."
played it a lot.
They did- for a bit in there,
Yeah.
But actually, it is a pretty. He's a great vocalist. so-
Fantastic
Yeah,
vocalist.
yeah. So I mean, now I have a lot more appreciation. But then
Yeah.
you're waiting for your police, whatever we were into. Not again, oh man.
Yeah.
I think it'd show 14 videos by the time this
Right.
is over.
I think just had a lot of respect for him because just the amount of things that guy would do for love.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
insane.
that's true.
Except for that one thing.
It's only one thing.
Then I have this.
Okay.
Well, boys, I have a thing to say. Played a great game. All of you. Great game. I guess we just can't expect to win them all. I'm going to tell you something I've kept to myself for years. None of you ever knew George Gipp.
Oh,
It was long before your time.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what a tradition he is at Notre Dame. And the last thing he said to me, Rock, he said, sometime when the team is up against it.
Good night.
The Whatchagonnawannado podcast is brought to you by Scott Dog Productions and is made possible by viewers like you.